I appreciate that the step they have taken to create another political party is better. They decide that it's not that you want power in 2026. Building democracy and changing a country is not 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 years or so. It could take 50 years. The issue that you have started moving on that journey. So I appreciate both institutions. Let Najana Nkumbi, that feels that these were bad people, work without them, and we see what they can offer. 26 will be a benchmark to see how progressive they have worked without the malls now. That's why I was quarreling with Amriat calling these people malls, yet it is the same thing that he wrote on. Let the Katonga group also organize itself, and we see what they can do better than where they are coming from. And whether it takes 10 years, they may not take power in 2026, but they have started on the journey. Okay. The only problem I find in both political formations is that they have not understood the enemy they claim to be fighting.
Thank you.
Nobody has understood this enemy called Yoweri Museveni.
Thank you very much. Areas, and I will pick up from what Simon actually ended with. Is it, because looking at the formation of political parties, in essence, political parties should be formed on ideology. Many of the political parties that we've had, many at times are formed because people have failed to agree, because of egos coming through. Is this something that should have actually been done, or FDC as opposition political party to ride on they should have swallowed their egos to, you know, agree to disagree and disagree to agree?
Thank you, Mildred. FDC, as a journalist, actually, a political journalist, I was born in FDC.
Okay.
I was there when it was formed. I saw everything, and I have followed that party until today. One of the things that I understood, just trying to follow what was going on, is that 2003, 4, 5, going on to the 2006 election, what was happening, because most of the people who had been working with General Museveni, had been with him in the bush, in the government, were disappointed that he wanted to continue ruling the country. And they thought, I think also spurred on by what had happened in Kenya when Raila Odinga rose to power, 2001, I think, 2002, they thought it would happen in Uganda. So many of the people who left government to join FDC, to help in the formation of the FDC, thought what they would do would just be to move out of NRM, come into what then was...
Reform agenda?
Even before reform agenda came to the fore, there was something, basically I was talking about reform now in that campaign. They thought they would just come, topple General Museveni and take power. Most of them were not with first thought now. Having talked to them over a long time and seen what they did, they were not prepared for what would happen, that it would take very long for them to fight General Museveni and maybe they would fail. So most of them, when they realized that was not going to happen, they left the fight. Then it seems to me Dr. Besigye had planned this for a very long time. And he knew maybe if this happens and we defeat Museveni, good. If we have to fight for a long time, I am prepared for that. The others, very many people, you cannot talk of individuals, but you would see many of them would run out of means. They are not used to staying out of government. You don't know how to exist without getting the perks from here. They have given you out of parliament, you don't get a salary. So the FDC became very weak, even by the time it was formed. And when the 2006 election was lost, it was almost the time when you would see that the FDC would break. I'm only saying that with now hindsight, having seen all these things happen. So now we are talking about what is happening today, where there is a split, this split. And it has been happening for a very long time. Talking to Dr. Besigye, Simon has been referring to that. Every time somebody he had been working with in FDC left and maybe said, I'm going back to government, and he would say, I thank them very much for the time they have committed. I know this is very hard. And whatever. While the other people would go very hard against those people, he'd sympathize with them and say, okay, this person has given us their time. And whatever, because he understood their personal circumstances. And Genome 7 has done that very well. He knows when to attack people when they are most vulnerable. It seems he gets intelligence and he knows this one doesn't have this or that or the other, so he will come and provide. And this person will say, why am I dying?
To the contrary,
we won't even get
it is the vulnerable who keep going to him.
Yeah, now
many people think he fishes them, but from my own observations, it's the vulnerable who keep targeting.
From your own observation, not experience. And that is
one brings the other.
One brings the other, and it is very interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those admissions, I think, need to come out.
Yes, sure.
And we say how Genome 7 now decided to use sweeteners, even sometimes more than actually force to destroy these
Soft
parties.
power.
So the infiltration that happened was apparent for very many years. And this thing now, we knew it was just a shell.
So it was just waiting to happen.
When people kept saying this one is a mole, the other one is a mole, whatever. So the FDC, the 20 years that they have been there as the central focus for Genome 7 to destroy has been so long. And there was no way they were going to survive it.